A Palestinian man sat at his desk writing letters, each one containing the essence of a dream. Dreams of a homeland, dreams of a future, dreams of freedom. It's hard to say where the line between reality and imagination blurs for a refugee who has spent generations in exile. His hands trembled as he wrote, reliving the journey that had been seared into his memory, a journey that had turned his childhood into a nightmare. His story dates back to 1948, a year etched in the collective memory of the Palestinian people as the Nakba, the catastrophe. When he was just 12 years old, the British, who had ruled Palestine since World War I, announced their withdrawal. In their place, they intended to establish a Jewish state, ignoring the presence of the indigenous people whose land it would become. Overnight, armed Jewish groups descended upon Palestinian villages, expelling and killing their inhabitants. Homes were ransacked, mosques and churches desecrated, and entire communities were driven out, becoming refugees in neighboring Arab countries and beyond. Our protagonist found himself in a crowded camp in Lebanon, sharing a small tent with his family. His parents huddled together, whispering in hushed tones about the horrors they had witnessed, the massacres, the burning villages, and the haunting wails of mothers searching for their lost children. His father, a farmer from a village near Jaffa, spoke of green fields and the scent of orange blossoms. He told stories of festivals and laughter until those memories became the only refuge for those trapped in the harsh realities of the refugee camp. Decades went by. The boy grew up surrounded by tales of a homeland he had never seen, a land that now belonged to the state of Israel. The thirst for belonging drove him. He joined political organizations, participated in demonstrations, and poured his heart into every poem he wrote, yearning for the day when he could return home. But Lebanon was not his home. The language was different, the culture distant. There were moments when he felt completely alone, wondering if the ache in his heart would ever subside. Then came the October War in 1973. The Arab nations sought to reclaim territories lost to Israel during the Six-Day War in 1967. During the conflict, he witnessed firsthand the destructive power of war, the fear in the eyes of civilians, and the toll it took on the human spirit. It was a stark reminder of the past and a chilling glimpse into a possible future. As the war raged on, he realized that true liberation lay not in foreign conflicts, but in reclaiming his own narrative. He began documenting the lives of Palestinians in Lebanon, their struggles, their hopes, and their resilience in the face of adversity. He wanted the world to see them, to understand their pain, and appreciate their strength. In 1975, civil war erupted in Lebanon, further complicating an already precarious existence. Palestinian camps became battlegrounds, caught in the crossfire of a nation divided. He watched friends and neighbors lose their lives, their dreams shattered along with their bodies. Amidst the chaos, he found solace in writing, pouring his emotions onto paper, giving voice to the voiceless. Years later, when he was in his late 50s, he learned that his village, like many others, no longer existed. It had been erased from the map. The news hit him hard, bringing back the trauma of his displacement. But amidst the grief, he found a purpose. He dedicated himself to preserving the memory of his village, collecting photographs, maps, and any document that could piece together its history. He scoured archives, interviewed fellow villagers who had also survived, and created a museum in his home filled with artifacts and stories of his lost homeland. Despite the passage of time, he remained steadfast in his pursuit of justice and peace. He traveled the world, speaking at universities, attending conferences, and engaging with anyone who would listen. He never shied away from advocating for his people, even in the face of hostility. He knew that acknowledging the Nakba was crucial to achieving a lasting peace, and that without understanding the past, the present could never be healed. But his activism wasn't confined to lectures and debates. He actively participated in campaigns to boycott companies that profited from Israel's occupation of Palestinian territory. He organized fundraisers for medical clinics and schools in refugee camps and supported grassroots initiatives that empowered Palestinian communities. He believed in direct action, in tangible change that could alleviate the suffering of his people. For him, the Nakba was not just a historical event. It was a continuous process that had lasted for over 8 decades. Each day that Palestinians woke up under occupation, each moment they faced discrimination or violence, they were living the Nakba. However, he refused to let despair consume him. He channeled his experiences into art, creating paintings that depicted the struggles of his people with haunting beauty. He drew inspiration from the resilience of Palestinian women, their strength and dignity in the face of adversity. He used art as a form of protest, as a way to give voice to the silenced and shed light on the realities of life under occupation. He also mentored young activists, sharing his knowledge and experience to ensure that the next generation was prepared to carry the torch. He taught them about nonviolent resistance, the power of international solidarity, and the importance of preserving their cultural heritage. He was a living embodiment of the Palestinian spirit, unbroken, undeterred, and eternally hopeful. However, as the years passed, he began to feel the weight of his burden. The physical toll of decades of activism and the emotional exhaustion of carrying the memories of an entire generation were taking their toll on him. But he knew that he couldn't stop. The fight for justice and peace was too important to abandon. One evening, as he sat in his home surrounded by his collection of artifacts and paintings, he received an unexpected visitor. It was a young Palestinian woman from Gaza. She introduced herself as a journalist and expressed her admiration for his work. She had come to interview him, to learn from his experiences and gain insights into the evolution of Palestinian activism. He welcomed her into his home, and over cups of strong Lebanese coffee, he shared his story, the journey that had shaped his life, and the enduring spirit of his people. As she listened intently, she saw not just a historian, but a survivor, a witness to the complexities of the Palestinian experience. During the interview, he talked about the importance of documenting the Nakba, ensuring that the world would remember what had happened to the Palestinians. He emphasized the need for young people to engage in activism, to continue the struggle for justice, and to never give up hope. The young woman was deeply moved by his passion and commitment. She realized that she wasn't just sitting across from an activist, but someone who had dedicated his life to a cause greater than himself, someone who had turned pain into purpose and displacement into determination. As the interview drew to a close, she thanked him for his insights and for his unwavering dedication to the Palestinian cause. She promised to honor his legacy by continuing to educate others about the Nakba and working towards a better future for Palestine. When she left his home that evening, she carried with her not just the stories he had shared, but a renewed sense of purpose. She understood that the Nakba wasn't just a historical event, it was a living, breathing part of Palestinian life. It was a wound that needed tending, a story that needed to be told, and she was determined to play her part in keeping the memory of the Nakba alive, honoring the sacrifices of those who had come before her and working towards a brighter future for Palestine. Today, the plight of the Palestinian people continues to resonate around the globe. As long as the sun rises and sets over Jerusalem, as long as the olive trees stand witness in the West Bank, and as long as the waves crash upon the shores of Gaza, the story of the Nakba will endure. It's a testament to the human spirit, its capacity for resilience, and its unyielding pursuit of justice and peace. If you found this video powerful and insightful, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Your support means everything to us. Together, we can continue to amplify these important stories and keep the flame of remembrance burning bright. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time, memory, and the enduring spirit of Palestine. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and above all, stay hopeful. The world needs your voice.